We will start our next topic of our chapter, Applied Machine Learning for Health Data, and the topic name is gradient boosting. So as the name shows boosting, so it means it just recovered the previous mistakes by building the new trees. Now just go through the introduction of it. So gradient boosting is a powerful ensemble machine learning technique. Build multiple trees sequentially. Each tree learned from the mistakes of the previous trees. So this is an important point, that each tree learns from the mistakes of the previous trees. Combine all the prediction for the final output. So what are the key features? That is sequential learning. Trees are built on one after another. Error correction. Each tree focuses on the reducing the error from the previous tree. Flexible, work for classification and regression tasks. Handle complex data, that is numerical, categorical, and the missing values. Now let's go through the scenario of it. A hospital wants to predict which patients are at the risk of readmission within the 30 days. This is a scenario, this is a problem, that a hospital wants to predict which patients are at risk of readmission within 30 days. Data includes age, gender, lab results, and the past visit. A single tree may make many mistakes, but gradient boosting correct these mistakes steps by step, learning to the accurate predictions. So this is a scenario how we use our gradient boosting in the medical healthcare. Now let's go through the workflow of that algorithm. First of all, we just train our tree 1. It predicts something, let's suppose predict the readmission, then calculate the errors. Then in step 3, we train our tree 2. And why we are training the tree 2? That it reduce the errors that are generated by the previous tree, that is our tree 1. And after that, this process is repeated several times, and at the end we combine all trees, and then our final prediction we get. So first of all, we train our first tree. It just do some prediction, and then we calculate the errors, and we build second tree in order to reduce the errors created by the first tree. Then same process happens several times, and at the end we combine all the trees results and then show the final prediction. We will also see this numerical example that is in the next slides. Now, why gradient boosting work well in healthcare? So handles the large dataset like electronic health records, reduce prediction error by focusing on the difficult cases, provide interpretable models, feature importance, can show which patient factors matter most. So these are just why gradient boosting work well in the healthcare due to its following properties. Now let's go through the example of it. Think of each tree. Now think each tree that we are building. Think of each tree as a doctor reviewing the past mistakes to make a better prediction. Sequential learning is the key. Every tree corrects error from the previous one. This method works exceptionally well with structured healthcare data. So let's suppose you will see you have here patient data, this one, and patient data. Tree 1 make prediction on it. We first of all train our tree 1 and it provides us a prediction on it. Then some errors are calculated. Then tree 2 is trained. It just overcome the above errors. And whatever the errors that are left with tree 2 are covered by the tree 3. And the same way the procedure will be repeated, and at the end we just add the predictions of the both trees, all trees, and we got a final prediction. So this is just a scenario example of it. Now we have also the numerical example about the gradient boosting and also the practical example. So let me go on it. That is gradient boosting, in which we have example of a 5 trees here. Now let me go there. Alright. So here's the example just for the 5 trees, because we want to just go through how it works. So you will see at the start we have a data. Let's suppose a patient data we have. And here is the target values 10, 12, 14. So we train our tree one, basically this one. And how we train it? First of all, we will make the mean, find the mean of our data. So this is your target data at the first time. So you just calculate the mean of it, 10 plus 12 plus 14 by 3. So the mean will be the 12. After calculating the mean, we are just making the predictions that we replace. Now the prediction, our current prediction will be that mean, that is 12, 12, 12. And then we calculate the errors, that is actual minus predicted, that we subtract at every time our actual value, that is 10, with the predicted value. And same thing will happen with all these three, 12 minus 12, that is now actual minus predicted, and we got these error. So now we train our tree too. And what does the training of that tree do? It just fix the above errors. How it will fix it? First of all, you will see we have these errors. It learned the errors of the previous tree. Then it apply the learning rate. So learning rate basically help us to do the optimization. So it apply the learning rate, and what will happen here now, that update predictions 12, 12, 12, that is your first prediction in that thing, in the first tree, plus that thing, that is minus 1, 0 and plus 1. And when you add these things together, you got that thing. Alright. After that, what will happen here? Again, you have the errors, that is this one errors in your tree 2. Now, how to avoid that error? Again, you just train your tree 3. It will learn your previous error, that is a tree 2 errors, and again it will apply the learning rate. Learning rate apply means that to multiply, for now we just standardly set the learning rate 0.5, that is our normal learning rate. So the learning rate will multiply with your errors basically, that is the previous tree errors. So when you multiply it, you got that answer. And after that, you are just doing the same step, that adding your previous prediction, that is this one, this prediction, with the learning rate multiplication, this one, and at the end you got new prediction, this one. So now your that errors are recovered by the tree 4. This is your previous tree errors. Again it is multiplied with 0.5, you got that answer. And then again your previous prediction, this one, in your previous step, is added with these things, that is multiplication of the learning rate with errors, and you got that answer. And at the end, these are your errors of that tree, and same steps is happen for tree 5. And at the end, what will happen here, just we will add all the predictions together and we update our prediction. So at the end, you will see in tree 5 you got that answer, this one. So this is now your updated information, and at the end it just prediction improves gradually, and errors reduce step by step. So gradually the prediction you will see enhance and your errors got reduced. So you will see that it is still the 5 trees that we have done. So learning rate and all these factors we will also see in our code. Now let's switch toward our next slide. So the gradient boosting have multiple forms, that is its improved versions, just like XGBoosting, that is extreme gradient boosting. And what is the XGBoosting? That an optimized version of a gradient boosting, that enhanced version of a gradient boosting, designed to be fast, accurate and efficient, includes regularization to prevent overfitting, handles missing value automatically. I know that you got the concept maybe about the overfitting. So overfitting means that when your model just overlearned, those features is also considered that are not important. So this is basically the overfitting. So now after that we have scenario of the XG boosting. The a hospital wants to predict which patients are likely to be readmitted after discharge. So this is your scenario in healthcare. A hospital wants to predict which patients are likely to be readmitted after discharge. Some patients' records are incomplete, so XG boosting can use all available data, automatically handle the missing values, and give the accurate predictions. So key features of XG boosting is fast and accurate, handle the missing data, prevent the overfitting, support both regression and classification issues. Example is that predict heart disease risk using age, gender, cholesterol, blood pressure, and lab results. So main points in XG boosting are XG boost is like a doctor who works fast, handle incomplete patient information, and avoid the wrong conclusions. It's wisely used in Kaggle competitions and healthcare predictive analytics. After that, there is another version of a gradient boosting, that is light GBM. So light gradient boosting machine. So what is light gradient boosting machine? A gradient boosting framework optimized for the speed and large dataset. Grow trees leaf wise rather than level wise. It reduces the errors faster. Handles the categorical features without encoding. So these are the properties of light gradient boosting machine. Now we have a scenario: the patient has hundreds of patient records. Light GBM can process this huge dataset quickly to predict the hospital admission risk, focusing on patients where predictions errors are largest. Key features: very fast leaf-wise growth, that means focuses on leaves with largest error. Sport categorical data, high accuracy on the large datasets. Examples include predict the hospital readmission risk for thousands of patients using age, gender, insurance type, lab result, and the previous visits. So this type is basically leaf-wise and work on the large datasets. Now there is another version of a gradient boosting, that is categorical boosting. What is categorical boosting? Gradient boosting framework specialized for the categorical data, uses ordered boosting, reduces overfitting, minimal hyperparameter tuning required. Scenario: let's go through that a hospital wants to predict the treatment success. Patient data include gender, insurance type, ward type, and lab result. So CAD boost can handle all the categorical features. So CAD boosting is basically for the categorical features and give the reliable predictions. So key features are: it handles categorical features naturally, and the categorical feature just like a gender, insurance, ward type. Ordered boosting, that is reduce the overfitting and bias, minimal tuning, work well with the default setting. Accurate prediction, good for the structured data healthcare. Example that predict treatment response using the gender, age, insurance type, lab result, and hospital ward. So we have different data structures. For now you will see that data, if your data is categorical, so we can prefer the CAD boosting because it work well on the categorical data. And for leaf wise prediction, we will go to the light gradient boosting machine basically. And the other one, that is XGBoost, is just like we will see that it is fast, accurate, handles the missing data and prevent overfitting. So XGBoost is also used when for example, when we have the data in such a way that is optimized version of a gradient boosting, fast, accurate, and efficient, and all these factors if are present, so we can apply the XG boosting. So these are just a optimized version of a gradient boosting. Now let's we go through that code. First of all, this one, in which we have applied the decision tree at the bottom, this one. So this is our code in which we just apply the simple gradient boosting algorithm. So the first thing is that I just applied here the classification problem, as we know that gradient boosting fits greatly on classification and regression. But now I have just tested the classification problem. So first of all, we just import our libraries. You will see that load breast cancer. It is just here, this one. We just import it from our sklearn.datasets. So it is a function that help us basically to load our data, inbuilt data of load cancer, breast cancer. After we just import another function of a train test split, and then we import our classifier, that is gradient boosting classifier, and then accuracy score that calculate how many predictions the model got correct. So these are just important functions that we have done, and sklearn is used because it is very versatile language and all of that things. After that, we just load our dataset, that is inbuilt one, load breast cancer, our data that is inbuilt, and we got its features and also with targets. After that, getting the features and target, we are moving toward the splitting. So here we just split our train and test data, that is 4 variables, and we split our train tests. So in training is a 20%, so testing will be the 80%. And random state means that we repeat the same data at every time. Here the model that is used is a gradient boosting classifier having estimators 150, learning rate let's suppose 0.05, and maximum depth is 3. So these are the parameters that we have set it, and then we train our model, that is model.fit our training data, xtrain and ytrain. After that we do the prediction and we get the accuracy. So if we go through the parameters, so n estimators are basically here, basically the total number of boosting trees added one by one, how many steps the model take to keep the improving itself, learning rate, this one. So what does it do? It controls how much each tree affects the final prediction, how strong each correction should be. So it just make a fixation. After that we are moving toward the maximum depth. So it just allow inside each small tree how detailed each tree is allowed to learn pattern. And the random state is just set a fixed seed for the randomness, so result stays same, gives the model a fixed starting point, because as the random, so we have data point that is basically fixed at every time. So every run gives the same output, so we will see the same output at every time. So here we just apply our that classifier about the gradient boosting, and this is just a course, and we got accuracy 95% at the end. So this is all the gradient boosting, and whatever we have covered, the introduction, the scenarios, and after that the algorithm flow, the numerical example, the practical example, and the types of it according to the scenarios and all the things. So that's all from that topic. Now we will move forward in the further session with the next topic. Thank you. Have a good time. Bye.